a lot of people get in it and they want to be famous, they want to be rich, and they get burned out really, really quick. And I
Mm-hmm.
say, love what you're doing. You'll never work a day in your life. So really love what you're doing. I always say, turn your passion into a paycheck. There's something you want to do, you want to eat off of it, develop it, cultivate it, uh, work it to its fullest potential, and those things will come. Don't seek the money first. Don't seek the likes and the fame and stuff like that first, because, like I said, it's a slow burn, and it should be. You don't want to burn out too quick.
Oh no!
Yeah.
They don't get it. It's okay. We get it.
I was like, yes, Lord, come on with the cancellations.
Whew, we going in and now just kidding.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm black. Am I good?
He's with the best of them, and he's one of my favorite men to emphasize.
that entrance sounds like much more than who I actually am.
Okay, so my guest of honor is a natural-born leader that uses her voice to rally the people. She has done it all, from being a VJ to being a songstress. Some of her accomplishments include being a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, and owner of Soulbird Event Entertainment. She recently dropped a single entitled Wolf, and she has so much more dope to come. Today, my guest of honor is Derica Booker. How you doing, Mel?
Good, I'm good.
I'm doing good. I'm trying to stay, safe and COVID free. Just
still in the Panasonic.
yes, but I'm missing my concerts right now. You know, I'm a concert goer, so
listen, I just know Silk Sonic's with a concert, so
I'm going.
In a bubble. I'm gonna have a bubble and I'm gonna go.
But I know that mask will come off at some point because I got singing. I'm be there.
just with a little gas mask on, just booming, you know.
Hopefully it's outside. Hopefully it's well ventilated.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
so
gonna have
funny.
to be festival, because if it's Bruno, he gonna bring the city out. So.
Yes, he is, and you know I'm gonna be there. Front row. That's my boy. But yeah. So how has quarantine been for you?
Oh my gosh, quarantine has been a self-awakening, and I think that's what people, everybody was coming in with the 2020 vision, da da da. But I think we were awakening to all the things we weren't wanting to. We faced a lot of our own demons, a lot of things that we deal with mentally. So 2020 really for me was just a blur. Even being now in 2021, when we're talking to people, I have to remember, like, yeah, we had a whole year between 2019 and 2021. So
yeah,
that's how 2020 went for me.
I understand that.
A really scary time.
Yeah. So would you say that like 2020 has caused you to just like appreciate life a little bit more?
100%, because this is something we've never heard of. It makes you appreciate the things we take for granted, like the time, your family. They were telling people that stay, quarantine for 2 weeks before going out of town. And we was like, what? My grandma kissed me all over my forehead. Now you tell me I got a social distance. So it really makes you appreciate the things that we take for granted. Like seeing your family, being up under your mama and stuff like that, and it was eye-opening, to say the very least.
I agree with you. It's kind of crazy too. Just like you don't realize like how much you miss seeing people smile, and like just like it's interesting how we have to look at people in their eyes now, which I think is a great thing, because people don't never look at people in their eyes. I'd be like, I don't trust you. You don't.
Now I'm like,
I'm an eye person. I'd be like.
Listen, I recognize people when they're like this, when they have the mask on. It's just like, such and such, and they'll recognize. Like, oh, okay, I'm glad that was you, because I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I wasn't gonna embarrass myself with that. Hey, girl, and that's not her. That's not.
Just like Jesus loves you. That's how you get out of nowhere.
Girl, it's been something else.
It has. But look, we made it to 2021, and there is a reason why we made it to 2021. And I'm excited to talk about all the things that you have going on, because look, we always have to go through the valley and the darkness first before we emerge. So tell me all about everything you have going on, the new music, the new entrepreneurial things that you have going on. What's going on with you?
It's a lot. So I as Capricorn as Capricorn can get. I'm always doing something, always having my hand in something. I don't know when to sit down. And it takes God to be like, look, I'm gonna sit you down for a little bit because you don't know how to sit down. You hard
Yeah.
headed. And really just it's new to everybody else, but it's old to me. I'm finally coming out of my shell and really getting out of my cocoon with doing music. As you said earlier, I have a new single that's out right now called Wolf. And it's a single that I've been sitting on for maybe a year and a half before I actually released it.
Wow.
It was just due to just fears and being subconscious as an artist and being very sensitive about how you're viewed as an artist, an up and coming artist. And so it was that. The blessing is due to being in quarantine. A blessing was born from it, which was quarantine karaoke and open mic that I used to host.
Yes.
Connecting with people in a way that I didn't know that I could. You know, we have social media, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a lot of times something that's used to connect people brings us apart. And so for the first time in a long time, people were needing people, like humans needed humanity.
Yeah.
And it was very easy to get it started. People were looking for an outlet, something to entertain them. And that came at a time where everybody needed it. So it was fluent. It happened without really trying. So yeah. It's amazing.
I will say this though. I pop in a few times and I'm like, you just don't realize how talented people are. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, wait a minute. You just like, I didn't know you could sing like that. Look.
DFW got so many people. Like,
it's true.
Hidden gems. They out here.
DFW definitely has it for sure. Like, even thinking about the celebrities that come from here, like, you just sit back and be like, wow, we really do have like the mecca of people that's from DFW or from Texas in general.
Texas birthed Beyonce. Like,
yes.
Your argument not good after that. Like, what?
Yep.
Beyonce? Like,
Queen B is from here.
Come on. I mean, but people you didn't even know, like Marseille Martin.
Yeah.
She's a 14, 15 years old, and she's the youngest executive producer.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah. I'm like, what? I had no clue. But
yeah,
that's what I mean by so many hidden gems, you know.
And you got your Selena Gomez's and your Demi Lovato's. Like, you got all the array of people.
Turl, Texas.
Yeah, Turl, Texas.
You gotta say Turl so you know it's real.
That's how you know if you're from Texas or not. If you say Terrell, they be like, you're not from here. You don't know how to say it. Well, tell me, who is your greatest influence when it comes to music?
Oh my gosh, it switches so much. I'm very eclectic in the music I listen to. So I listen to, like I like to say, I listen to Shirley Caesar to City Girls, Freddie Hammond. Like it varies so much on the spectrum. Right now, I have to go back to the GOAT, which is Missy Elliott, who is the innovator of all things visual. She is timeless in her own right. I love Anderson .Paak. That is my guy.
Yes.
He has the sauce in the recipe. Like, he does not make a bad song. God, I love Jill. Jill's my mother. She don't know it. Never see this, Jill. I love you.
Yes.
Everybody. I listen to a lot of underground artists, things that are music that's really fresh and new and different, and it's not mainstream. So it really does vary. It varies. Country music, Sheryl Crow, rock, The Script, Coldplay. It really does vary. So inspiration, I can pull it from anywhere.
That's so dope. I'm the same way. I love all kinds of music. Like, I can't just like limit myself to one type.
Right. I haven't gotten into like the heavy metal part.
Nah, that's gonna make my head hurt. But you know, everything else I'm good with.
The passion is there, but it's just
I'm like, that's just not. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. It's an acquired taste.
It is. So what inspired Wolf?
Man, Wolf comes from a real place. And I think that I've gotten that question a lot. And I think everyone has an innate animal instinct in them. The need to survive, the willingness to survive. And a lot of times with the wolf, it's painted as the bad guy. Like you hear the wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
Hmm.
But really, in actuality, wolves are not predatory animals. They're actually animals who do what they have to do to survive. They're scared of humans. So if you were to approach a wolf in real life, they're more likely to run than they are to attack, unless they feel threatened. And then that's when it's like you get the fangs. You know what I'm saying? So it was that vibe when writing this. Everybody was expecting something soft and pretty and melodic. And when co-producing the beat with my producer Upgrade, I have to shout him out, he would kill me. When co-producing it, I just didn't feel softness and pretty and melodic and sweet and and all of that. I was like, no, I want to be in my bag. I feel grungy and all of that. And so even when the first bar hit, as much as I tried to sing it, it was very trappish. It was very hard and grungy and hard hitting. And so it was just that instinct. Like, look, I'm out here. I'm trying to get it. I'm doing it by any means necessary. Anything or anyone that gets in my way, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it was that animalistic instinct that kind of really inspired the single.
And I loved it, and I love the video too. I feel like the
Thank
visual.
you.
I feel like the visual matched the song for sure.
Thank you so
And
much.
and I love the whole visual of you. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead and switch it up real quick. I
A
said,
little godly, a little gutter, I still got the grill. Yes, I wear it. It wasn't just for the video. I
I'm from
actually wear it.
Texas. Everybody from Texas should have a grill.
You pick, listen,
I'm just saying, like,
right past it. You gonna have a grill or you gonna have a slab? Which one?
or both. How about both?
I'm telling you.
Like, can we get both? I need to give me a new one. I used to have the bottoms. I don't have them anymore, so I got.
I didn't want to overdo it by having the whole top. Now, eventually, I may go and get me some, open face at the top, and I'm gonna keep it real cute, just the bottoms right now. Keep it simple.
I like the canines too.
The canines, I've heard of that.
Yeah, just the canines. These three.
Ah,
Yeah, like the
like
faint.
the Nellies.
Yeah, the Nelly. Yeah, like Nelly.
Okay. Try that because Monica looks good with them, but everything ain't for everybody. So I might go get it crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Let me ask you, when it comes to your creative process, like you're getting ready to write or go into a session, like what does that look like for you? What is like your go-to things to do to get in the vibe of your session?
It is the most organic process. Like there's no entourage, there's no libations. It's just me and my producer literally. And he's set up to where he has the LED lights and it's low and it's just literally me and him. Now he is a bartender by nature, so he may make it a little whatever to kind of get in the flow of things, but it is the most organic process I've ever had. And I'm so thankful to that. And I tell him this all the time because I have some horror stories with studio sessions,
Oh no.
and working with people who are, who call themselves producers, but really are just beat makers. No shade.
It's a
But
difference. There's a
it's
big difference.
different.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is a difference. But it's the most organic thing. And a lot of the things that we come up with happen outside the studio and we just bring them back into the studio. I may come up with a line or something while I'm in the shower and I'm hopping out trying to record it real quick. Let me record it before I forget it. I'm bringing everything I have, or I write down something on a napkin, literally. Or I have a notepad app now. So now it's as soon as I have it, I'm shooting it up. Hey, what you think about this? And then we put all the puzzle pieces together once we get in the studio. So it's the most organic process ever. Like there's no force. If something doesn't happen this session, okay, next session something will happen, and it just starts from a conversation. This it's not we're coming in, let's get to work. It's like, hey, how'd your day been? Did you eat? What you eat? Got some sleep? Like this is a friend that I'm working with, so it's a blessing. It really, really is.
Yeah, that chemistry makes a difference too, because when that person gets you, like, and understands you as a person, it's easier to create together.
I'm
So
telling
How did you even find this? You said that they're a friend too. So how
Yeah.
did you find them, and like how did y'all decide to start working together?
So we go back to maybe 2018, and a friend of mine at the time was doing a birthday party. She was asked to perform, and she asked for my help. She was like, "I don't really know where to start. I don't know how to get a band, whatever, whatever." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And I started as someone who was just going to do background vocals. Well, I actually led a couple of songs as well. And he was emceeing the portion that we were opening up the show with. So before you went into the main room, we were in the lobby. So as
Okay.
guests in and signing in, we were setting the ambience. And so he was emceeing that, and we had 1 or 2 rehearsals at his house. So from then he was like, "Oh yeah, like you really do this, you really da 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 da." And we connected then, but it had been probably 5 or 6 months down the line, and I was on my way to work, and I was like, I love my job, but if I'm honest, this is not what I want to do forever. And so I shot my shot, reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, dude, what you up to? I know we were supposed to work a long time ago, but what do you say we just get in the studio and just catch a vibe, see what happened?" And it's been history ever since then.
That's so
And
dope.
he's a dope guy. He's open. Um, he's knowledgeable. He's an encyclopedia for music, and so he's been a blessing to work with. Upgrade. Look, upgrade again.
I love that so much because the one thing that I love about music is like there is always some type of connectivity, right?
Yeah.
Like it draws people together, and you get the best music when you have that camaraderie. Like just you get the best music when you have that connection. So I'm happy that you found somebody that
He's
can
the
pull it
true
out of you.
Missy. I'm telling you, like
Yes,
he is similar to my Missy. There is no Missy without Tim. There's no Tim without Missy. So it's literally that. The things that I get, he also gets as well. So just as much as he's helping me, I'm helping him as well. To develop as a producer, he's developed me as an artist. So we're
absolutely.
yeah.
So where do you see everything going soon? Like what is the ultimate plan, the ultimate goal?
I want to do so much, and that's my problem. Like I scoring for movies. I would love for my singles to be part of soundtrack. Issa Rae, hit me up, girl, if you see this. Um, like I want to be a part of everything. I have my hands in everything. Even writing series as well. Like I have my hands in everything. I want to be a part of every facet of art. But right now, working on my EP.
Hmm.
Hopefully that'll come up at the top of either next year, something solidified, and just starting from there and then letting that kind of branch out and do its thing. So right now, just an EP.
You're an artist, so that means you have no cap. So that's a
Yeah,
good thing.
at all.
That's a good thing. Tell me about Soulbird Event Entertainment.
So that stemmed from me just doing what I do already, which is just like singing for birthday parties, singing for weddings. The idea stemmed from being called Bird or Songbird all the time. And I just kind of flipped it to Soulbird because I did a
Hmm.
lot of soul music when I performed for whatever. And I think this is probably 2014, 15-ish. And I sung for a childhood friend's wedding. And I just kept calling me Soulbird, Soulbird, Soulbird. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep that. And I got to the courthouse and I got the little DBA for it or whatever it's called. And it's just been that. So um, I put it on the back burner for a little bit because quarantine happened and all that good stuff. And then a lot of times I was getting booked without even having to mention my company. So now I was just like, hey, we want to, just kind of add a little progression of like, hey, if you want to book me, this is where you can go. Because a lot of
Hmm.
people on Instagram or see me out at open mic and be like, hey, where are you singing? Da, 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 da. This is the way how you get in contact with me. So that's where that came about. So just singing at weddings, birthday parties, singing with family friends that are around and be like, hey, I have this retirement party. Are you free? Absolutely. Here's my site. That whole thing. So yeah.
Yes. Whenever you start making space for opportunities, they come.
Yeah.
So that
It,
is definitely what you did.
it will make room for you. I'm telling you.
It will. It definitely will. Do you feel like music has allowed you to become the Derica that you are today? Like, do you feel like if it wasn't for music, you wouldn't fully be who you are?
That
She
that
said that.
I tell like I come with my own background music. Like my heart beats has its own rhythm. Like, and I love silence, but I mean the way I function throughout my day, I'm listening to something, I'm singing something, I'm listening to something. Before I pull off of my car, I'm putting on something. Like music is just so it's the bloodline that makes everything flow for me. And even if I don't do music for the rest of my life, it'll be a conduit for something else. You know, maybe I may start out here and then music will take me here and I still use music to paint a picture of somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So music is literally what I eat and breathe. I
Yeah.
could see my life without it.
I always ask artists like, do you see music? Because some people see when they hear music, they see it as well. So do you
Yeah.
see it? Yeah.
Absolutely. So before I could write the first line of Wolf, it was a music video in my head first. So anytime I write anything, I see it first. So I see what I'm doing, what I'm trying to portray first before the first bar even comes out.
Hmm.
So for me, when we came up with the melody for Wolf, it was like very eerie, very dark, very woodsy. And it was me kind of navigating, and then the words came, and that
Hmm.
happened oftentimes. So, and I know people see color and all this stuff like Kanye and stuff like that. It's not that artsy fartsy for me, but it's literally like what do I want to be? What picture do I want to portray when I write this song? So it really is that for me.
You get big picture. That's a good thing.
So there's a
Getting big
whole
picture is great.
going on before we get popping with the words.
Look,
Yeah.
then you can take it in a million different ways.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing. Like art is so up for interpretation. So you may be putting it out and you want to get this message across, and somebody may see something else and offer a whole different perspective. And that's okay. That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to start a conversation. It's an ongoing conversation. So even if you aren't an artist, you could be a model, you could be a painter, you could be a sculptor or whatever. Like you're conveying something to start a conversation, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say has been the hardest part about going after this dream?
Being vulnerable. Like
Mm,
I tell people it is as crash as walking outside naked. Like I am an artist and I am sensitive about art. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it is putting yourself out there. And I don't think people understand the risk you take with being an artist or doing anything with art or any facet, whether you're a painter, whether you're whatever. These aren't necessarily professions that people make it in all the time. So it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. There aren't necessarily top degrees in these fields for being an artist. And so you're literally risking everything, putting yourself out there. The
every
time
time.
to develop the artist, develop as a songwriter, or whatever the case may be, it takes that 10,000 artists, 10,000 hours. There's no shortcuts, there's no cheat codes. And so when you are putting so much into a thing, giving it all you got, you're very sensitive about it. And so when you put yourself out there, people don't see the 10,000 hours. They don't see the
No.
sleep nights, the grind, the performing at bars with 5 people or 15 people, or doing a show for gas money. They don't see that. They just see like, hey, entertain me, and it better be good. Go.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's that every time. And when you love something so much, you're willing to do that until you pop. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely understand. Trust me, I get it. So what advice would you give someone who's gonna take on this road? Like, what could you give them to help them navigate this?
I would say love it so much that you do it for free, but be so good that you never have to.
Yeah.
Really love it. Really love it. Um, a lot of people get in it and they want to be famous, they want to be rich, and they get burned out really, really quick. And I
Hmm.
say, love what you're doing. You'll never work a day in your life. So really love what you're doing. I always say, turn your passion into a paycheck. There's something you want to do. You want to eat off of it. Develop it. Cultivate it. Uh, Work it to its fullest potential, and those things will come. Don't seek the money first. Don't seek the likes and the fame and stuff like that first, because, like I said, it's a slow burn, and it should be. You don't want to burn out too quick. So a
It's
lot of
true.
people they're jumping on the TikTok wave and stuff like that, and it's real quick success, but quick success can quickly burn out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you really, really want to do it, anything, whether that's a singer, rapper, producer, whatever, love what you do wholeheartedly, because the consumer, the audience, everybody's not going to take to what you're doing. Love what you're doing wholeheartedly. Like, develop some thick skin, because it's a risk, but it's worth it. The
yeah, it
reward is
is.
worth it. When you love what you do every day, absolutely go for it.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it
It
because
is so worth it.
there's a difference in being. Some people want their financial freedom,
Yeah,
but then they neglect their mental freedom.
yeah.
And I think
Mhm.
as artists, like we definitely have, although the road is difficult,
Yeah.
we have mental freedom, and there's just no comparison for that. Like there's
I'm
nothing better than knowing that you're free
there's
here.
better to have full creative control over what you
Yeah,
do. And I
yeah,
tell people like this, excuse me, like, sometimes you have to work your day job until you can do your daydream.
yeah,
Like, let your day job fund your daydream, and really invest in the time. I know you're tired after you work the 6 to 10 hour shift, but when you come home, still working your craft, whether that's writing down an idea, um, writing down a concept, writing down a line, coming up with a song idea, an album cover, whatever it may be. Like, still work on that craft, because when you neglect that, then it dies. It
yep,
sits on itself and it collects dust. You know what I'm saying? Work your day job, but still work on your daydream. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. You got something got to fund it.
Something, and something gonna shake. Like, when you really, really want to do something, you have a heart for it. Like, God, the universe is gonna turn for you. I promise you. When you do it with good intention and good motives, it'll happen for you before you even know it.
That's true. And be authentic to yourself. Don't flip flop.
See
That flip
that.
flopping will get you every time.
Oh my God, I can't stress it enough. I think in the beginning, like, even when trying to write songs, I was trying to be too marketable. Like, what are people
Yeah,
gonna what are people talking about? And I found it difficult to write. But when I spoke in my truth, it flowed out of me. Authenticity is key, and people can tell when you're real about it or when you're just putting it on. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's important too.
They can definitely see it. They can definitely
They
see it.
can pick it out. And, like, especially if you be signed to a record label, a huge label, yeah, they'll chew you up and spit you out. Like, this is not really you. Take that off, take that off. Don't say that, don't say this. Yeah.
Get it together, girl. Get it
Mhm.
together. Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background. We met at UTA,
Yeah.
so I
I
wanted to talk a little
remember.
bit, right? Oh, Miles. I wanted to ask you about your experience there and how that has impacted you as well.
Oh, okay. Well, before I went to UTA, I was actually at TCC,
Mhm.
and prior to that, being in high school, I had lost my dad earlier at 16. And so all the plans that I imagined myself doing, all that was just kind of derailed. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go here, I'm not gonna go here. I'm gonna stay close to home, close to my mom.
Mhm.
And so I started at a TCC, and I didn't do well in school. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, 100%. Like, I didn't invest the time in studies. I went because it was a check. Like, I was like, okay, I'm getting paid to go to school, so I'll go.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't invest the time in it. And then something clicked. Like, you know what? School may not necessarily be for me, but I do. My education is important to me. So whether I'm in an institution or not, let me at least learn. Let me take advantage of the resource of me being able to go for free. So applied for UTA, got in the course, and the first semester was still the same thing. It's like, okay, I got to a new level, but I'm just not really feeling being here. And then I was working like a 10-hour shift, getting off of work and going straight to class. So that first year, that first semester, it was downhill. But you get what you put into it. So I became active. I got an NAACP, BSA, NABJ, Pledge Delta Sigma Theta, all of that. So the more you put into it, the more you got out of it. Radio was the huge start of everything. Like, having a voice, reaching out to people, using my voice. It really kind of helped me solidify myself as radio personality, and just as an artist, period. And people still know me from the radio show, but don't know that I do music, which is cool because it's like, okay, cool. We graduated from there. Come over here.
Now you can
So,
hear me. Now you can hear me.
but yeah, UTA was definitely that push to kind of like, yeah, we growing up and we're really focusing on the things that we really want to do. Like, this is what we're here for. This is what we're paying our money for. So let's invest the time in it. Yeah, UTA was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah. I love that you said school may not have been for me, but I made the decision
Yeah,
that I my education was important.
yeah.
And I think that's a great thing for you to say for the kids to hear, because school may not be for you. It's not for everybody. Like we say that all the time. It's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody, and that's not a bad thing. Like, people think that you have to be smart or be a genius or be academically found to be, to go to college or whatever. No, like, start with a trade. Learn trades. When I tell you trades are important,
Yes, they
skills
are
are
skills.
they're more important than the degree you're going after. Like, the skills will get you in the door and keep you in the door. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? This is me showing you a piece of paper. Okay, that's great. But C's also get degrees. So, you know what I'm saying? So you could have just floated your way through school but learned nothing. But if you learn a trade, learn a skill, school is not everybody. Sitting in the classroom is not for everybody. But if you find your niche, find what you love, and study that via University of YouTube, via, Google, books, going to a library, whatever. You don't have to be in a classroom. The world really is your oyster. You know what I'm saying? Go
yeah,
out here and learn just by linking up with somebody who's doing what it is that you want to do professionally. You know what I'm saying? So school wasn't for me, but I value my education and learning what I needed to be in order to become a personality, as
yeah,
far as being an artist. Yeah.
yeah. Everything we do adds to, so that I'm glad that you stuck with it, because you were able to learn a new part of yourself. Going to UTA, I know that you were able to meet a lot of different types of people,
Yes.
and you probably had all types of different types of friends. So could you tell me what your 5 non-negotiables are when it comes to the people you have in your circle and your friendships?
Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. So it really kind of boils down to maybe one or two principles, but I'll try to spread it out to
Oh
five.
no, if it's 1 or 2, that's okay. It's
And
okay.
that's really just being authentic in who you are as a person, um, being a human. I think so many times we have an identity crisis, so we cling to groups in order to feel somewhere. We have to belong somewhere, or feel like we have to belong somewhere. I say be authentic, be human, be present. Um, have a backbone, be able to think for yourself, and just honestly be truthful.
Yeah,
Um, I use the word transparent a lot because I think it's a difference between being honest and being transparent. Like, if I ask you a question, I'm expecting you to be honest, but transparency is you divulging the truth without me having to ask you. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I think that withholding the truth is just as bad as a lie. You know, and for me, all of my friendships are developed on truth, who you are as a person. My best friend, when I first met her, I was like, oh my God, she is so ratchet. I don't know if this is. But when I say she's the realest person I've ever met in my
yeah,
entire, and she's so wise for just 31 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's such a godsend, and angels happen in many forms. You know what I'm
yeah. They
saying? So
do.
she was true to who she was. I love her for who she is. And that's really what it is. It's just about walking in your truth and being a real person. Um, being true to who you are as a person. I think that ties into everything.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't have to stretch it to 5 because you got 3 good ones. That's all you need.
Mhm. It really is it really is the 4 quarters versus 100 pennies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So having people that are solid, you can have a bunch of associates and they're cool to hang out with, go drink, have a good time, go party, whatever, whatever. But then when it comes down to getting down to business and being better and bettering ourselves, they're just kind of out of the loop. But we have those
yeah,
4 quarters. You know what I'm saying? The four wise men, the people who are really gonna hold you down and help you be a better person. That's what you want to rock with for
yeah.
sure.
Those associates will distract you though.
Period.
So be like, I'm gonna
Period.
stick with my foe. I'm good.
Yeah.
Stick with these
And
foes.
I will, and I'm a person, I will fall off the face of the earth. Like when I need to refocus, and those 4 quarters will be like, hey, we know what this is. We recognize this. You need us, we here. Where
Yeah.
they at? Pulling up. That type of thing. But the associates, I haven't seen you. Where you been? That's because we're not here with it. We're not, you know what I'm saying? But the 4 quarters understand that. You know what I'm saying? Those
Absolutely.
are friends. Those are your
Those
real
are real friends. Yeah.
friends.
Your real friends you can pick up with them where you left off, even if you haven't
Yeah.
talked to them. So
Like you have to be. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like we have that connectivity, you know? Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of connectivity, tell me what God means to you.
Oh, everything. 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 Like I literally would not be here without God. I would not be in my right mind without God. Like I can't take another breath without him. God is everything to me. He is my foundation. He is the house. He is the nails. He's everything. And I think more importantly, just connecting to more of the spirituality of things, really understanding how God operates
Yeah.
versus what we've been taught and what we really, really know to be true. Um, and when you know God for yourself, and you
Yeah.
get to know yourself, you'll understand that He is not what you've been told all your life.
At
You know what I'm
all.
saying? Loving, He's caring, He's a gentleman. He does things with dignity and in order. And once you understand that God, it's a bliss like you've never imagined. You know, I've been through so much in just a short span of time,
Hmm.
and He's been there to keep me, comfort me, keep me going, breathe new life into me each and every day, even when I feel like this ain't it. You can come back anytime now. Anytime they're acting crazy down here, God, come get your child.
Come get
You
me.
know what I'm saying? They do me bad out here, Lord. Come get me. But he is such a comforter. Like I just I would not physically be here without God. And I can say that humbly and proudly that He is the foundation in everything I do. Even when it's
Absolutely.
hard headed.
Wait, you said even when
I
you
would
what?
get it right. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for
We don't
sure.
always get it right. But that's why he sent Jesus.
Yeah.
So
And
he even thought about that.
he sends his angels in many ways to kind of keep us, don't go too far to the left, don't go too far to the right, but keeping us, right here.
It's
God,
true.
oh, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly. And as someone who I went to church as a youngin, but I didn't grow up in church, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't the Monday through Sunday kind of kid. I was, we went every Sunday, every Bible study, and that was kind of it. Like I wasn't in the choir, the youth, or anything like that. But
Hmm.
I grew to know him as I became an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and they won't depart. And sometimes your kids, they turn 18, they turn 21, and they burn up and experience life. But it's that relationship with God that brings you right back around.
Yeah.
Grounds you and keeps you rooted. So God is everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
And those grandmothers' prayers keeps us locked in. So thank you, Granny.
The prayer that they prayed while we were in our mom's belly,
Yeah.
are still working, still holding, still protecting. Like there's no prayer like a grandma prayer, because your grandma was
Yeah.
VIP. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yeah.
Real talk though.
My papa, even now, and he wasn't a very religious man, but I knew that he loved God so much that just even seeing me, he just grabbed my hand and prayed for me, and I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna hold, that's gonna stick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you know God for yourself and you can really call him, you know what I'm saying? Call him by his name, really understand the truth and who God really is. That is so important,
Yeah.
get to know God for yourself.
And understand who you are.
Hmm.
That's real. I love the fact that you have had those experiences and you understand that knowing him for yourself as an adult is completely different from, getting introduced to him as a kid.
Yeah.
Because once you have your real life experiences, that gives you something to hold you accountable for, actually having that connection with God.
We don't want to go through that, but
Yeah.
those the trials are necessary to really fully understand. As a kid, you love going to church, you love God and stuff like that. But when you go through those trials and those tribulations, then you understand, like, yeah, this is really God holding me
Yeah.
and soliciting me this thing.
It's real.
It takes you being being a young adult, being grown, whatever person with a family, whatever, to really, really understand. You got to go through something to grow through something.
Absolute. Bar. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bar. Shout out to God. But no, it's real life. Like we don't want to go through the pressing things, but pressure does make diamonds at the end of the day.
It does. If you stay in there long enough.
Mm-hmm.
You stay long enough, you definitely will get it.
Right.
So,
you have to grow through what you go through.
Absolutely true. So tell me what makes up your self-image.
Ooh, that's the new one. What makes up my self-image? That's a good question. I don't think I really think about my self-image as much. I just try to be realistic, and true to myself, and I hope that shows and that's apparent towards other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't try to let this dictate how I am as a person towards other people.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm fine in real life, but I try to be real from the inside out. I guess that makes sense. I never really thought about my image. I don't know, it's a good question. I have to think with that, but yeah, I think I'm more focused on who I am as a human being versus what's going on outwardly. Yeah, that's
So
good.
it's a lot of people say the same thing that you said when I asked that question, because they instantly do think of the outward appearance. But when I ask it, I'm actually asking about who you are as a person, like your characteristics. So it makes sense though. Like, I like the fact that you can like separate the two, because some people would have been like, "Oh, let me tell you about me." But that says a lot about your character, the way that you answer the question.
Yeah, I think it's important, like your character, like it's the difference between, okay, so that makes sense. So when you say image, I automatically thought like the physical, but I guess your image can be your reputation. And I think I would still have to say again, it boils down to who you are really as a person, your character versus your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Reputation is who people think you are and who you may be portraying yourself to be versus your actual character.
Yeah.
If people who really know you outside of social media know you that you're mean spirited, you're vindictive, you're manipulative in real life, but then you get on social media, your mother's Teresa, it's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? The image you're trying to put on. So yeah, that makes sense.
You can only hold the image for so long.
First. Yeah.
You can only hold that image that fake image for so long.
Yeah, because people know you in real life. Like
even in COVID.
You log in and you're this completely different persona. It's like, yeah, I went to school with you. I know your mom. I know where your grandma stay. I know you in real life. And like so you, this thing that you're doing for Facebook and stunting for the gram, but when you log off, who are you for real?
Right.
And so yeah.
Right. So how do you define success and happiness?
Success for me is, am I happy with what I'm doing? Not necessarily anything that I can gain or obtain, but am I happy? Is what I'm doing bettering me? Am I making my footprint in the world? I like to say joy versus happiness, because happiness is really by happenstance. We can be happy 1 minute and then life happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Success for me looks a lot like doing what I love every day, being okay with my family being well taken care of, me being in a great mental state, and really just loving to do what I love to do every day. That to me is success. And the bonus is if I can eat with that, if I'm able to take care of the people that I love, that's true success to me. And I'm working on it. I'm close.
Yes.
I'm manifesting it. So
You'll
it's
get there.
time is catching up with itself.
You'll get there for sure. You'll get there.
Thank
And
you.
I feel like you're gonna do it in a different way than you think.
I
Like I feel
received
like it's gonna be a lot different than you
I
think.
received that. And it's just crazy. It's crazy that you say that because just going through so much back to back to back to back, I know the things versus what I'm manifesting, and there's something else that's around the corner. And I was just telling my friend this yesterday. We had a show and everything was falling apart. Everything that could happen was falling apart. And I'm like, that's because something greater it's about to pop out.
Yeah.
Like it's on the horizon, bigger than what we can imagine. And I think staying hopeful in that, that's what keeps people going.
Yeah.
So something is on the horizon. I don't know what it is, but I'm ready for it.
Like I'm just gonna sit here and catch it. Let me catch that, Lord.
Yeah.
Amen. Do you believe your purpose is a journey or a destination?
Journey, for sure.
Journey.
I don't mind this. I don't mean to sound as cynical as I'm going to sound, but I feel like the minute you get there is when you're done.
Yeah.
It is most definitely about as you go, what you can pick up as you go. That's why it's important to travel light. The things that we carry with us every single day that don't matter. We're so sensitive about the things that don't matter and insensitive about the things that do. It's about the nuggets as you go. Just like as Bob said, as they were healed, as they went.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's about the journey, being on the road. Just like, yeah, I can fly and get there quicker, but what have I learned versus driving myself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything's about the journey. It's about the on the way there before I get there. Once I reach the destination, if I'm still blessed to still be able to enjoy it and really, soak it in, cool. But everything's about the process. That's why people say trust the process. You know what I'm saying? So
got to. I say that to myself every day.
yeah.
Gotta trust that process.
Trust the process. Because it's looking real funky out here, but something come out of it.
That's where your confidence in your integrity lies.
Mm-hmm.
In that process. Yeah. For sure. And if you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
If I knew then what I know now, I always say I wish I could take what I know now and then go back and go through it again and differently, but it would be different.
Yeah.
I think it was Nicolas Cage. I forgot what movie it was, but he was like, every time we get a glimpse of the future, it changes. And that's because we mess it up without even knowing that we're sabotaging it. Like we see, oh, that's gonna happen. Cool. Let me relax.
Yeah.
Or this is about to happen. Let me try to avoid this happening. And without even knowing it, simultaneously we still make that thing manifest. Yeah. I just the life that we're living right now is going to happen whether we want it to or not. I'm grateful now for the things I went through that were hard, or things that we're going through that are hard, but I know that it's here for a reason and for a season, and it's something that I'm supposed to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you're, even before you're out of it, or once you're out of it, you can use that testimony to help other people. So that's the beauty in it too, because there's always going to be a legacy component to it.
Right.
So that's the blessing in it.
You have to literally go through it. You can't stop in the middle of it. You stop in the middle of it, you know what I'm saying? You're stopping and making a pit stop. You have to literally keep going. Every day, every minute. Get up. Choose to keep going. Choose to keep riding. Choose to make effort every single day. It is literally about that journey.
Absolutely. So tell me what's next. What's coming up? Any new events or anything we should be on the lookout for?
Absolutely. So, as you know, I have my debut single, Wolf, that's out right now on all streaming platforms.
Yes.
The video out on YouTube. Go check that out. Share a friend, tell a friend. The next month or so, I'm also looking to put out my second single along with the video. So that is the first time I'm saying that out loud. I'm working on that. I'm actually going to do a very, very small casting for a lead, a male lead. So, fellas, hit me up. But yeah, that's coming out, working on an EP, and just honestly, just still using music to connect to other things and connect people together and just live life day by day, stop and smell the flowers.
Yes. Well, I just want to say I'm super proud of you. I'm like, it's exciting to see you here in this space, like just like doing your thing and like really confidently saying like, I know this is going to happen because this is what God told me.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see you in this space because I can see it and it makes me happy because I'm like, it's coming. So you just keep pushing and you keep on doing what you need to do to make sure you stay in that space.
God willing.
Yes, ma'am. God willing.
And all your many hats that you wear, listen, the many hats that you wear, and you're good at all of them. So kudos to you and thank you for having me. This is a blessing.
I received
it's
it.
my time to come get here, so I'm happy that we can still do this. This was amazing.